There was us with our weapons and them with their weapons, and the possibility of a third force resolving the two, was a much more elemental thing. I think it would have been difficult if the movie was set today, with the so-called war on terror, because we're still in the fog of that and we can't really quite see it. So I think that what we've actually got with the Watchmen movie is, just as the graphic novel is now, it's a kind of a timeless meditation on conflict and the possibility of resolving it.
Zack, do you want to jump in on that question?
Yeah, I mean, I guess, for me it's interesting though that, you should say that, we're in need of heroes. I think that what the movie points out is that, in some ways the answers, are not going to come from outside of ourselves, I think, in some ways, I think it sort of says that there's no also, morality that's going to swoop down, with a cape on, that's going to be better than the than the morality, of our own reason.
Now, when you got the script from Warner Brothers, am I right in assuming that it was a modern version?
Yeah, it was a modernized. The script I got from Warner Brothers was a modernized 2-hour movie, PG-13 2-hour movie, modernized with Adrian getting.
Sorry, Zach, we missed that. All we got was a modern 2-hour movie. If you could just press the R2 button and just say again what you said.
Yeah, a modern 2-hour movie with with the modern conflict, some sort of third country like China or something like that, threatening us. Also, it was a franchisable, sequelable film where Adrian gets killed by the owl ship. And what they really wanted me to do was figure out a way to have Adrian get killed before he could actually unleash some sort of destruction. And I thought all of that was crazy talk.
So how much convincing did you need to do to end up with the faithful 2.5-hour movie that we have?
Yeah, I mean, it was almost like I had to basically, sort of just educate them about what I was going to do. I mean, that was part of the whole thing. I thought, okay, when they first called, I was like, maybe I shouldn't do this. But the reason why I kind of had to was, if I hadn't, they would have just gone down the street. No two ways about it.
Okay. So the next question is from Blunt Nate. Is Blunt Nate in the house? Blunt Nate, can we hear from you? Okay.
Yeah, hi. This one's for... No, hey, don't ask my question. I'm here. This one's for Dave. Do you think, or do you hope that the Watchmen film will do for the comic book movies what the book did for graphic novels, and that is showing that comic book movies can be dark and dense and mature and more than just, light-hearted kiddie stuff?
Yeah, well, I hope it shows that movies can be dense and mature. I don't know necessarily dark. I think Watchmen, as I said before, is a dark kind of movie, although it does have its redeeming points. But I just hope it leads to a greater variety of movies that feature these kind of mythic characters, because I think they're a fabulous vehicle for getting over points in the way that the myths of old could make a point more strongly than an absolutely realistic take on normal human beings. I also hope that the movie, as it seems to have been doing already, actually directs people to the source and gets them reading more and more graphic novels.
What about you, Zack? What do you think? I mean, do you think that the success of The Dark Knight sort of helps you make this movie as as an R-rated film?
I think the success of The Dark Knight is a big part of it. Even though that was a PG-13 movie, it was a pretty dark. It was a pretty dark film, and I guess though I would say also though that it's a superhero. It's a sort of superhero movie in the sense that my only complaint about The Dark Knight, though it's a movie I think is awesome, is that the only character that doesn't belong there is Superman is the only or Batman is the only awkward character in that movie. Like he's the only one sort of that doesn't belong there.
Okay, the next question is from Phil Stardust.
Yeah, hello, Mr. Zack Snyder and Mr. Gibbons, huge fan of both of your work. I'm from Portugal. Mr. Gibbons said earlier he's saying about this, but I would like to know your opinion. What was that thing from the graphic novel you hung on until the bitter realizing that you had to let go because it just wouldn't work on screen?
I guess, I wouldn't say that I held on to the bitter end or anything, but I think the squid really for me is that thing, It really, what it was requiring from me was not only like what I feared was a lot of screen time in the explanation, and therefore that would have been just screen time that I would have not had for like Rorschach or Dr. Manhattan or any of our other characters, but I also felt like it wasn't going to be just a thing I could gloss over. I was going to have to really drill down on the why of the squid. And so that was the thing. Though I love the squid in the graphic novel, people are always saying to me that like, oh, Snyder hates the squid. I'm like, I don't hate the squid. I like him. I want him as a pet. Other, part of my life, but, not in the movie. I couldn't get him in the movie. Like I say, it's not that I don't like him, I just feel like, we had to figure out a device that was going to get us through that cleanly.
Zack, you've been so faithful to Alan and Dave's work. Are you a bit sort of sick of having to defend the lack of the squid in the movie when you've kept so much?
It's fine. I'm happy to talk about it. I'll talk about it forever. I'm sure I will talk about it forever. But the truth is, and I guess it's fine. But like it really is the difference between the movie that we did and the movie that could have been done. And the movie that could have been done was certainly dangerous, as far as I'm concerned, as far as what was intended.
Okay, the next question is from Martin, IGN UK.
Hi guys, this is Chris Tilley from IGN. My question is to Dave. I just wanted to cast your mind back and tell us maybe which of the characters was the most fun to draw in the first place, and which of them were you most excited to see brought to life on screen?
Okay, well, I was lucky enough to have plenty of time to design the characters. So I actually liked drawing all of them, and they all had their particular challenges and rewards. But I suppose the one that I find myself drawing the most